let's start off with this, because this is interesting to me tonight. It's a little bit different. What is the definition? So there's all these depends on who interprets, like the notion of what a sigma male is. I think a lot of the guys that are more like MGTOW, like going their own way, they're kind of like, yeah, I'm a sigma male. Like the ones that are choosing to go their own way. Let's just put it that way. The ones, let's be clear, because there's a there's a part of the demographics out there that aren't choosing that direction. It's kinda like sent for them. But the sigma male defined is it is a more internally focused sibling to the alpha male, so they're related apparently. While the alpha male quantifies himself on his high position in social hierarchy, the sigma prefers to forego the social hierarchy and need for external validation altogether and pursue internal strength instead. It's interesting. That sounds a lot like me when I was growing up. Essentially a loner or a stray man, although Sigma males have had close circles of friends and loved ones with whom they share deep connections. Sigma male is not socially inept, but simply socially disinterested. Also sounds a lot like how I feel about what's going on with much of the stuff of the world today. I was talking earlier. I'm like, sometimes I just don't feel like I actually belong anywhere. Like you listen to these feeds. I mean, you can go down this rabbit hole of social media feeds, and it's like, oh, this, cross-dressing, uh, whatever wants to read stories to, like, children, or you flip or keep scrolling or you flip up, and in Finland, they've got some 50-year-old dude that wants to identify as a chick and dancing on the ice and can't really skate. It's like, all of these thi I'm sure some of you guys have seen it today. It's like, sometimes I just look at the world, I'm like, "I don't belong in this. This is not me." So, I don't know, maybe I am a sigma male. So let's keep going. Disinterested, prefers solitary activities where he doesn't have to play social politics, he can simply focus on himself. The sigma male accepts that he does not need power over others as the alpha male desires, but rather needs only power to control himself and preserve his own autonomy from others. Sigma males are often pragmatic, but may be seen as others aloof, paranoid, secretive, and selfish. What's up, chat? I see a few guys popping in. Jerry, Wayne, Farouk, Ernesto. How you guys doing? Nice to see you all. Guys, do me a solid. If you're watching this somewhere else on the interwebs, I'm just gonna copy and paste and just drop it in here on all the chats. So if you're on the Twitter, the Twatches, the Facebooks, the whatevers, head on over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button for the algorithms. Thank you kindly. I'm gonna do Q&A today as I always do. I'll drop the link about halfway through the show. A lot of people DM me, how do I ask a question?" Watch the show and hit the join link when I drop it. It's not complicated. It's pretty straightforward. All right. So, the thing that kinda bothered me when I was sort of diving into this and looking at it is that I kinda came from an introverted background. Maybe I was a sigma male, who knows? But everything that you accomplish in life that leads to greatness and these milestones in your life, you can't do it by yourself. Okay. Um, the reason why sapiens are so successful as a species is due to gossip. That's due to us collaborating and communicating with each other. So, as much as you might romanticize the idea of "Don't bother me, leave me alone. I'm perfectly fine alone. Stay out of my way." That can work, but I still think you need a tribe. So I wanted to get into this document that I pulled up from a psychologist's site, and he breaks down characteristics and traits of, sorry, he calls these as 17 traits of Sigma males. One, independent. So Sigma males are direct. They rely on themselves. Company is okay, but they don't need it too much. They may have a couple of close friends, but they don't need a large social circle and are content with their own company and don't like wasting time. Okay, so actually, I agree with a lot of that, to be honest with you. Two, elusive. The words mysterious, elusive, hard to reach, often used to describe a Sigma male. It's not that they're particularly secretive, it's just that they don't engage in banalities and they don't like to overshare their life. Okay, kind of like that too. Rich, why don't you share this? Why don't you share that? Because the internet's freaking weird, dude, and I don't want people knowing about my life in detail. Maybe I am elusive. Maybe, oh, hang on. This might be the title of the next book. Instead of the Unplugged Alpha, it might be the Unplugged Sofa. Where are we getting here? Off the grid. Because of their character traits, Sigma males are less likely to be on the web. That's not me for sure. I'm all over the goddamn web. They recognize its benefits, but rarely see the need to engage social media all the time. They see the media as helpful tools to connect, but also understand it can drain time. Deep thinkers ponder the deep questions in life. They wonder why we are here, the purpose of life. I don't do any of that stuff. How to live a good life, definitely. Because of their depth, they often reject much of what society says and does. Yes, I agree with that. The test shallowness. Sigma males test superficiality and shallowness. That's usually why they dislike groups and small talk, and why they keep themselves to themselves. They take life far too seriously to engage in life's trivialities. Sounds like a peaceful life. Charismatic. Because of their elusiveness, quietness, and independence, many people find them quite charismatic. Sigmas are silently confident, and that has power, but they are dark horses and lack their desire for social approval makes them stand out. Dominant, differently. Sorry, it says differently dominant. Alphas dominate through their loud behavior, hostility, showing off. I don't know that alphas are hostile. It's a exaggeration. Sigmas dominate differently. They get what they want without others noticing. Okay, now it's getting interesting. They can be excellent at networking as people respect what they say. Brooding is the next one. Some say Sigmas are brooding. They are undoubtedly quiet and rarely speak unnecessarily. Their moods are often darker. And it's not that they're not happy or optimistic. They are just not superficial. They favor practicality over positivity. Definitely introverted traits. You guys don't know this if you're newer to the channel, but I was quite introverted growing up. Like, the existence in my high school years, very small group of friends, listening to a lot of rock, heavy metal, long hair, headbanger sort of dude. Went to concerts with a very close select group of friends. I get it. I think I'm getting what the Sigma male archetype is sort of about. They use critical thinking as the next category. They think critically about what others tell them and whether it is from teachers, parents, or coworkers, and even stuff that they read on the web. They recognize critical thinking skills are crucial to getting by in the world. I would agree with that. Like, common sense is just not common anymore. People are pretty stupid nowadays, and they just, like, what was it? 3/4 of the population that just, oh yeah, just give me that juicy jab, the untested experimental thing. Number 10, embrace ambiguity. Sigma males are happy. That's kind of like amuse mastery, right? Happy with uncertainty. They don't need the world to be black and white. They recognize this applies to many spheres, including what is real and what is right. They still have preferences like anyone else, but don't hold on to them too tightly. No slave to fashion. Sigma males don't care too much about what is fashionable. They are far too independent and practical to care. Well, if they don't care about what other people think, why would they care about fashion, right? They like to look good and they embrace their style, but pay no mind to what is popular. They don't fit in. Sigma males rarely find themselves as part of groups. They can take part in them if it suits their needs, but they will never be a full-time member. Something about the dependence of a clique puts them off. Introverted, definitely. Adaptable. Sigma males adapt to different circumstances because they reject. See, this is where you're going to run into some problems with some of the guys that think that they're like the lone wolf sort of character, but they're not adapting to situations. Because I see a lot of guys say, well, I'm just going to go over here and do my own thing and mind my own business and go my own way sort of thing, but they're not adapting to the current circumstances in their environment. So Sigma males can adapt to different circumstances because they reject much of what society says everyone should do. They often don't follow the same path as everyone else, yet Sigmas don't like to stand out and attract attention to themselves, so they learn to adjust and blend in. Dislike rules. Okay, I'm all about a little more freedom in life. Not anarchists, but they do obey the rules. And where the rules are not transparent, the rules seem trivial and pointless, and nobody's getting harmed, they may choose to sidestep them. I always say it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. So that's kind of a line with the number 14, dislike rules. Constraints is the next one. Sigmas detest it when others try to control them and why others often see them as rebels. Many see society's rules as a subtle form of control and so choose not to follow blindly. Thus, Sigmas celebrate freedom and fight things that hold them back. That's counterintuitive, because if you're going your own way, going like, I'm over here, leave me alone, fighting things that hold you back, I don't know. Travel lightly. Sigmas are not impressed with material wealth. While the alpha may be striving for money and status to show off their power, the sigma male is content with what he has. See, this is like I've often asked people, would you rather be rich and anonymous or famous and poor or rich and famous? And if you're to pick out of one of those here, let's do a quick poll. Let's do this as a poll. Let's see what you guys in the chat are saying. Because I think the polls still work here. Yeah, I'm logged in. So how do we do a poll? Poll, come on. Start a Q&A. Start a poll. There we go. So would you rather let's go with rich and anon, rich and famous. There's no point in saying famous and poor, because if you have the choice of being rich and anon, you're of course going to pick that. So let's just pose those two questions. It's in the live chat. Roy says rich and sexy. Yeah, I pick rich and sexy too. All right, let's go back to this article. You guys can click on that poll. I'll take a look at it in a second. They travel lightly, not impressed with material wealth. Okay, prefers his wit, intellect, and his cunning to any material possessions. They have no plans is the next one. Sigma finds it hard to dedicate themselves to one thing for any length of time. They have many things of interest to them and can be involved in different activities. Often they are very exciting life, but not single-minded. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I don't look, man. Life requires planning. There's some things that I deviate here from. Like you need a tribe, right? The way of men is the way of the gang, as Jack Donovan would say, right? So the almost full disconnect, it's more of a disconnect than I think is useful to you as a guy. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I don't think the unplugged alpha would disconnect from a network of men. I mean, one of the reasons why I have my networks of men is so that when things come up, things that need a sounding board, feedback, I need help with something, I can go there and they can go to the other members in the group too. It's why I created this thing, right? I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here and pin down below in the top comment. You'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.